What's up, DK Sim fam? Welcome in. Good to have you. Remember, just 2 Madden Sims coming your way over the course of this Dream Stream Saturday, but they couldn't be bigger. They could not possibly be bigger. And, well, I guess I didn't treat it right in the free roll because we called this one the toilet bowl. It's the consolation game. Jason Rossi, Adam Kaufman. We have the runners-up from yesterday's AFC and NFC championship games. Those, of course, the Pittsburgh Steelers and the San Francisco 49ers. How are you, man?
I'm good. Listen, you get the consolation game, you get the consolation host here.
That's right.
That's me. You see, Koff, you're like the balance of all weight in this world in Simland because you're the consolation guy and you're the championship guy. So
you know what it is? I'm just available.
Well, you were weekend warriors, bro. There's weekend warriors here. I'm not going to do it today. I'm not going to pick on anybody. I'm not going to call people. I did it last weekend. But I will just say, jokes aside, it's always good to have 2 Sims because you got our production crew doesn't have to sweat those. But
right.
But aside from me, hope Sim fam's doing well. And Koff, how about you? How the heck are you doing?
I'm good. We spent the morning, the fam, over at the pool. Nice little town pool situation. We don't have one at the compound here. I mean, I fear the liability issues more than anything else. I didn't want the responsibility of having
value of the home
property.
Value of the home goes down too. It's just a little sport.
I don't know. I mean, I remember when we were house hunting, and I'm not a realtor, but I just remember asking that question when we were house hunting, and it seems like one of those things. By all means, if we have any realtors in the DK Sim fam crowd here, weigh in. But what we kept being told anyway was because we looked at a bunch of houses that had pools, not purposefully, they just had pools. And we started to figure, all right, so what would it cost us to fill in this thing? Because we didn't want a pool. Yeah. And the realtors were basically saying it's to each their own. It's just personal preference. So it doesn't really add or detract value in terms of the price point. It's just, some buyers want a pool, some buyers don't.
My 2 cents is when I was same boat as you about 2-3 years ago, they were just saying like resale value sometimes on a pool you think is high, but sometimes can drop it as well because of the liability issue. But nonetheless, that has nothing to do with why we're here. And I'm glad you guys got to take a little dip. And I'm sure some people got the sweet Koff in his Speedo action earlier.
Oh yeah. It's what the people want.
You got to give them what they want.
It's like Will Ferrell says in that song. And really it's just a direct ripoff from the movie, but it's what the people, what was that? Blades of Glory?
I never seen it. I'll be honest. So I don't know what you're talking about. I'm going to nod and say yes.
You're not missing that much. In the spirit of your wrestling fandom, Lewis comes in hot in the chat and says, actually it's Jeffrey, pardon me, not Lewis. Jeffrey walks in wearing the Koff MLB Classic belt. Yeah, we ran a MLB Classic contest last night, and good on you, Jeffrey, for taking that thing down.
Congrats, Jeffrey. Way to get some.
Sessions says, hell, since the boss and the talk, that's what he calls you, the talk.
Yeah.
With the fire emojis, I'm hitting the like button immediately. Follow suit, fam. Hit that like, hit the subscribe button here on the YouTube page. If you're watching on Twitch, twitch.tv/DraftKings. It's really, Rossi, it's the plans post-sim that I'm more interested in. I mean, like the pool was fun. We had a good time, but post-sim, we're going to take a run at Space Jam 2, which by all accounts is just as horrific as I believe it will be. But nevertheless, we're going to watch.
Yeah, let me say this. I have not seen it. I brought up in the pod. We reviewed recently Space Jam, the original. We got a Sack City, Sack Lunch. That wasn't a sack. Why am I even calling the plays? Anywho, I'll be honest.
Like I said, we're both here. Go ahead.
Can I be honest with you? Also, I don't even have the screen up. I don't have it full.
You just guessed.
I
felt like a sack.
Somebody got tackled. I'm like, that looks like a sack. Okay, anywho. But for Space Jam, people of our generation are going to have a tough time with this one, I believe. Because it's like anything that's been remade that's of our generation. Lion Kings, Aladdin's, Jumanji's, whether good or bad, are always going to be like, why are they doing this? But I'm sure your children, I'm sure the people you'll be watching with, I'm sure it's going to be an enjoyable watch for one reason alone. LeBron James is an excellent actor. I find him to be strong in film or in commercials. I think he actually has some acting chops. So I think that will be a benefit to this movie. I think everything else will be tough to watch.
So I'm trying to think of like just different places we would have seen LeBron acting. I mean, he was in Trainwreck with, Bill Hader and Amy Schumer. And I enjoyed him in that. Big boy throw out of Ben Roethlisberger. Got it! Completed down to the 15, and a quick 61, pardon me, for Ben. 61-yard reception, Juju Smith-Schuster. Obviously, Saturday Night Live, he's been very good in. He was very good in Trainwreck. I don't want to dismiss that. Has he showed up in anything else?
I just think of the commercials. Like, when I see him in commercials, like, he doesn't come across. Like, you've seen Steph Curry in these Subway commercials,
sure,
with all due respect. You saw the Jason Tatum in the Subway commercials, which
Draymond Green.
At least Draymond Green has some sort of, like, personality to him. I don't know. Like, when I watch Jason Tatum in those, I like feel bad for him. Aside from the fact that getting millions of dollars, but like, he does not come across like he knows anything about acting or cares. But LeBron always has like a natural charisma to him, which is helpful.
ODB, I'm done already, Mr. Miyagi. Now Juju wants to do something. Where was this yesterday? Ooh. Out at the 1.
Okay.
How many times did we see a player stopped at the 1 over the course of Sims yesterday? James Washington.
Look up.
13-yard pickup.
Do you see any vultures? Because it could be vulture territory.
Are we feeling Derek Watt, baby? Are we feeling?
We got one the other day.
He scored twice this week already, I think.
Yep. Not shocking.
No, he's not on the field right now.
Or Connor sometimes will punch it in from here and make everybody frustrated. Not today. Not yet.
It's a handoff, and not there. Jalen Samuels, 2 attempts, both back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and goal from the 1 coming. We haven't even given you our lineups, so we'll do that. But first, we'll see if we get a score here to impact either of those builds. But good to see everybody part of this thing. Looks like we've got, let's see, 122 entries. Not bad considering the contest was only created a few hours ago. There's the handoff and able to sneak on in, and it is a touchdown for James Conner.
Get out of town with James Conner. I should just roster him every time. I feel like this guy's turned it all around here in the last month. He's just a scoring machine.
I've never really noticed it. I just, my memory kind of stinks. I need to be better about these things, Rossi. I should keep a score sheet for every game that I do. But I'm told from the Sim fam that James Conner, when I'm doing pit games, has a tendency to score. So it feels like a guy that, at least when I'm on a Steelers sim, you got to roster James Conner, because he's not, going to rush for the bonus or anything like that, but he has a tendency to get into the end zone.
Yep. It should be very fascinating to see how this whole game kind of breaks down as well.
Nobody wants to be 4th place, right? Again, it's the consolation sim. They're going for 3rd.
Does anybody? What would be interesting, Koff? And this is just an idea. We can talk lineups in a minute because everyone's dying to know our lineups. I know.
Can't sit still.
Are you interested? So I brought this idea back in the radio production days, because this is one of my I won't say hill to die on, but that was like a segment we had. And I think there should be this game in the NFL. I think there should be a game for the 2 losing teams. So we used to have the Pro Bowl, right? So there used to be 2 weeks. Well, there still is 2 weeks. That Sunday is the dead Sunday. There was the Pro Bowl for years. Now, I don't even know. Honestly, the Pro Bowl is such nothing to me. I think it's played that in between weeks still.
Yeah, it's still, they didn't have it last year on account of everything that was going on in the world.
Yeah, they had that.
It has still been that week.
Okay. So, with that being said, I just find it, I don't know what the game would be meaningful for. There should be something, I don't know if it's pay, but I just think it would be intriguing to have another game with those 2 losing teams that had some sort of significance. And
you're not going to, obviously, there's not going to be a ring. There's not going to be bling. We talk about Super Bowl rings, and heck, I didn't even know until, when I say recently, I mean the last, let's call it 10 years. I went a long stretch of my life not even knowing that conference championship teams, the losers of the Super Bowl, still got rings. So because nobody talks about those rings, nobody cares about those rings. No, those rings, wind up on eBay. They wind up at auction. And those are not the rings that people celebrate. But that's still at least runner-up. A consolation game, I don't know what in the world you'd be playing for. You're not going to get a trophy. Who cares about the ring? So it would have to be monetary. It'd have to be like, Pete Alonso year after year saying, hell yeah, I'm going to participate in the home run derby because I'm getting $1 million by winning this thing. The only way is to make guys care about it. And the only way to make them care about it is, through greed, through chasing dollars.
I used to call it, like, when the XFL had their single championship game in 2001, it was called like the $1 million game or something like that. Like, if there was something like that, and I know, and I'd love to hear the chat's thoughts on this, but I know players, some really don't care about money because, hey, what if they got hurt in that game and they have, contract year and they already just made 18 million, just using, for example, like say it was Allen Robinson, like, is he going to want to play? But there needs to be something else. And I didn't put the whole pieces together. I don't remember what I thought at the time, but I just feel like these teams like deserve more credit than just like, oh, they're the loser of that AFC title game. Like, I just feel like there could be something there. What that is, I'm still not sure. Like, the winner gets a top 10 pick. Like something.
Yeah, Daniel, our technical director, throws out, what about draft considerations?
Yeah.
So possible. Tarylyn, our producer, by the way, Jared Knops, great to have everybody with us. Travis says in the Chat Kings conference room, the DK Treehouse. So my Hawks are in the Simper Bowl, is that right? That's true. About 6 hours from now, shade under that, Tom Carroll and I will be along for the latest Simper Bowl. I'm not even sure what number this is. Got to be maybe the
number 3.
More, isn't it?
No, okay, take this from a guy.
So are we including, Daniel agrees with you. He says 3rd as well. Was the bracket championship game, are we counting that as a Simper Bowl?
Oh.
And or is that, if it does,
it'll be 4.
4, or is that 3?
No, so the ones I recall was the season, the thing we did before the season started, as we light up.
When Madden 21 came out and we moved to the new game, we had a season. That was the first Simper Bowl.
Yep. And then there was the holiday. I consider the holiday one the other one.
Correct. Yeah.
So the bracket
right around Christmas time.
Yeah, I'm not considering, but maybe I'm wrong.
Okay. Yeah. So Daniel says the Falcons won, the Chiefs won, and then we had the bracket championship, which went to Seattle, as I remember, who are back in the Simper Bowl tonight. So I guess it's just a function of whether you want to count that as a Simper Bowl or not. So it's either way, it's the 4th championship game of some sort of league or simulated season that we are doing here. And Seattle will take on Houston, who I actually had in my bracket to win the Simper Bowl in the bracket challenge back when we did that. We all filled out brackets for funsies. Garoppolo 5 out of 6 for 47. So I missed him by a tournament, I guess. And it'll be Houston, Seattle tonight, 8 o'clock. Tom Carroll and I hope you will join us. There is a $15,000 prize pool for these Madden Sims. $15 to enter. You can get in the DK lobby, and $5K going to first. So all you out there that are listening that, think they're hot shots when it comes to these Madden Sims and their hashtag team always here, and you make lineups all the time, you think you're pretty good at this, and I know a lot of you are. Well, here's your opportunity to chase some coin. $5K to first in that contest later on tonight. So by all means, jump into it.
That's a spicy number, $5K.
Right?
Yeah. Get me
and
going.
Even if you don't, like I said, even if you don't take first, it's a $15,000 prize pool. So there's money all over the place. We're late first quarter, San Fran threatening to tie, and again to the 1. Both sides.
Kendrick.
First it was James Washington dying on the vine at the 1, James Conner with a touchdown. This time, as you said, Kendrick Bourne stopped at the 1. We will find out who's able to get the touchdown this time. I mean, it smells like Raheem Mostert. Typically, you would think Raheem Mostert right here. First and goal from the 1, about $1 to go in this opening quarter. Rossi Koff along with you, and thrilled to be here on a Saturday. Handoff, Mostert, lost yards.
Come on, Mostert. Come on.
Here we go.
Let's try again after the 2-yard subtraction there. Second and goal from the 3. Mostert again, maybe. Will Garoppolo keep it? It's a handoff, and Mostert losing yards again. They go from the 1 to the 5. Boy, you got to throw this time, right?
They'll probably get the playoff here with time. So, yeah, you would think, but don't put anything past them. They've gone to the 1, lost 4 yards. Mostert not looking good to start. I think it's time to hashtag fade Mostert moving forward, because he's had a rough go recently.
All right, final play of the opening quarter. Garoppolo keeps it himself. He might want to think about running.
Whoa.
Long and way overthrown.
By the way, I heard a ridiculous stat. I just want to throw it after I saw that pass. We all have our thoughts. I'm working with BK this week, so I can't, for the first time in a long time, so I'm looking forward to bringing this up to him.
Yeah.
we all know that Drew Lock kind of stinks.
He's not great. Yeah.
He threw. I know Jerry Jeudy stands out because I've been trying to do some research about fantasy now as I'm getting in that
getting
mode.
closer to the season.
Yep.
Field goal's good, by the way, to close out the first. 7-3, Pitt in front.
You know what? I'll tell you this. We can give people the numbers, and I'll tell this odd number of why Drew Lock is awful and why you should stay away from their targets if he's going to be the quarterback. But I'll tell you that after.
That right there, as you know, that's a big market tease.
Ooh,
and you don't even have to wait that long. We'll be back in like 60 seconds. We're just going to review some numbers here.
Can I also?
We're not going anywhere.
No, I'm going to give you
in about 60 seconds.
I'm going to give you another quick tease. Well, right after this, I'm just going to let you guys know. DraftKings official partner with WWE, so they have a pool for tomorrow night's Money in the Bank.
Mm-hmm.
After this, not here on the Dream Stream, but on the Pop Culture Pile Driver YouTube page at like 3:15. Not that I'm trying to take you away, just in between. We got a lot going on today. I get it. I would never take away from the Sim Fam, but if y'all that are interested, I'm going to be doing predictions, picks. I'll put the link over on Twitch. I know at YouTube it's tough, but if you're on YouTube, you just search Pop Culture Pile Driver. You can get in the waiting room now and stuff like that. So we'll be doing that, and I'm going to heavily promote. I'm going to be like Christian. I wish I had a billboard right now, but
the Kilgores, if they're around, they can send you one. They won't get it to you in time for the Sim today, or the show today.
It's okay
with the Pop Culture Pile Driver, but at least you have it for future reference.
Yeah.
For future shows that you want to promote and get you a billboard. Juju Smith-Schuster is your leading receiver, 61 yards. Raheem Mostert only has 4 rushing yards, 4 on 5 carries. Just been absolutely awful. We will take a look at our lineups. How about that?
Here we go.
What do you have? As I can tell you that Daquan 11/29/80, which might very well be Daquan's birthday, November 29th, 1980, is in front right now by about a point on Pifu on Fooligan.
Yeah, dude, I'll tell you right now, my lineup is hot trash.
Okay.
Debo's in the captain spot, 0. I got Vance McDonald, 0. I know it's 1 quarter. Juju Smith-Schuster, who I didn't realize I had because I had so much money left over in this one. Steelers, DST, Kittle, Mostert, who has that nice 0.4, as you mentioned.
So I don't know how I'm going to finish. Probably not well. I did win one of these yesterday, though, Rossi. Just going to put that out there. 45th right now, so nowhere close to the top. But on paper, and that's all I have. On paper, I really like my build. We'll see what ends up happening. Debo Samuel is my captain.
Oh, look at us.
Yesterday, he was awesome.
Look at
Went
us.
back to the well. So far, goose egg through 1 quarter. 4% owned, I should say, in the captain spot. About 39% overall, which is about double what he was yesterday. People, going with the recency bias. Very reactionary here with this consolation game. Raheem Mostert, incredibly popular, obviously. 92% owned overall, 34%, a third of lineups in the captain spot. I've got him, Juju Smith-Schuster, George Kittle in my flex is very popular, 19% captain, about 67% owned. Also have Deontay Johnson. Price point was too good to ignore at $6,200 in the flex. And Kendrick Bourne, who we shouted out and should have had a touchdown earlier, about 40% owned.
So you're just one big jinx so far.
So far, yeah.
You've heard of other terms that have one and man in it. You are the 1 yard line man. That is
apparently. I mean, I didn't have James Washington at least.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was. Listen, you were saying names, and I just assumed you had.
You just went with it.
Yeah, but we both got Debo as captain, so we're really hoping for big things from Debo here in the last 3 quarters of this game.
Ernest says, Rossi, is that Babysitter Billy with you in the Pop Culture Pile Driver?
So today it's going to be a Rossi solo mission for this wrestling preview as, crowds have returned. So last night, big night for at least WWE. It was their first live crowd for a television show in over 537 days.
Man.
And so they were live. They were feeling it. And so tomorrow night will be the first non-main. So WrestleMania had a certain capacity, like the Super Bowl, both in Tampa, but tomorrow night, Money in the Bank back in full swing of things in Fort Worth. So yeah, just me for this one, Babysitter Billy. We're trying to get him back in because a lot of wrestling fans, it was a tough watching empty crowds and screened crowds. I understand. Big part of the allure of wrestling is that wild crowd. So just me. But tonight during the Super Bowl, I'm going to be watching on my phone and listening off, so you guys better have a good call because I'm actually meeting up with Babysitter Billy for the first time. And
is that right? You haven't seen him since all this?
We have not. So he was invited to my house a few times. and due to different circumstances on those days was not able to see him. I have not seen the man in person since pre-pandemic.
Wow.
So tonight is the night. We're going to be going to a local. Where's Christian? Going to be going to. I can't even do a Christian voice because his voice is so. I can maybe get his cadence if I.
Very Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, he's like, tonight we'll be going to Cough, a local like watery hole, and we'll partake in a few adult polar beverages.
He wouldn't even say that. He'd just flat out tell you.
He'll be like, I'll be at a brewery with the local beers, and they're the most amazing.
Yeah. Base Pops, by the way, says, is DK continuing Sims next week, or is this all she wrote? Base Pops, how dare you? We are going nowhere. In fact, you will write back tomorrow, never mind next week, tomorrow, unless you're one of those that believes the week starts on a Sunday. Tomorrow, we will be right back to our regularly scheduled half dozen Sims over the course of a busy Dream Stream day. They begin at noon Eastern and continue at 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 o'clock. Not just my ability to show I can count by twos. That is on the hour. We will have Sims at noon, 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. And as a matter of fact, I'm told that TD Drew, Technical Director Drew, not to be confused with Producer Drew, is running the gauntlet, says Daniel. He will be doing all 6 Sims tomorrow.
Whoa.
That is done few and far between. I'm not even sure it's been done before. That's a big boy number.
Well, I'm going to text him and say it's not allowed. As that's what I got last week when I said it's time to do it because he didn't want us to get burnt out. I know there's a difference between producing and performing, as Tara Lynn, the Swiss Army knife of the DK Sim fam, at least on our side, knows like 1 minute.
Look, TL doubled up yesterday. She
honestly
popped on camera after producing yesterday.
Such a goat. Like that stuff's like that doesn't get lost on me. You know, our guy Bry Guy's done it in the past when needed. He came in earlier this week when somebody had a shoddy internet, or maybe it was last weekend. It was Tom, and so me and Bry Guy did like 2 quarters. I jumped in for Glash for a quarter. Like we all do it, but like I think Tara Lynn also knows what I'm talking about. Like right now, Tara Lynn could be, you know, like I think everybody is on the toilet, you know, or doing yoga for all I know, while also doing the job. Don't get me wrong. It's not that she's not hardworking, but when you're on, you can't really multitask as well, or you listen to your other person. That's right. Co-host.
Your other individual.
Yeah, the other human species being near you.
TL being here with us right now. She is the producer du jour after getting forced, quite frankly. I mean, she talked about it last night during the sim. She was not even really asked kindly. She was pretty much forced into filling in for Kenny yesterday after Kenny, and I talked about this at length yesterday, so I won't do it again today. But I said that the entire DK Sim fam should feel just incredibly disrespected by Kenny, because Kenny, you know, what he told us yesterday, effectively, through his actions,
oh boy,
is I am here doing Sims unless something better comes along.
You know what?
Like yesterday, going to the Yankee game with Glash.
Did he go with Glash? Like they went to the game together?
They did. I guess there were some other people as well, but yes.
Okay. So I'm just going to say it, and I don't really care when you guys see him this week. Oh, she said this. Screw you, Kenny. So
right?
That's such a poor attitude and thing to say. All right? Screw you. That's all I'm going to say.
7-3. Fit in front. 3.5 to go opening half. Did I hear you? Because I will occasionally, you know, pop on, you know, maybe lurk in the chat or just not even lurk in the chat, just listen, you know, as like I'll put you guys on as background noise when I'm doing my work sometimes, you know, if I'm not obviously on the sim. And you and Tommy were doing a sim, and there were some comments about, you know, Twitter and whatnot, but we'll get past that.
I told you, don't goat me back into this cough.
Did I hear you make a comment? I could be somebody else. There was a comment made, and it reminded me, when people can't see you, but you were just holding your cat a moment ago on your lap.
Yeah.
Were you making a comment about people who don't have kids, who view their animals as their children, versus, you know, those who maybe have kids and animals, or those who don't have animals? Like there was a whole conversation about it, and I just can't remember if it was you or not.
Here's a real bad thing about me. I have the worst memory of the things I say, so I have to be like, I'll remember Kenny, screw you. That one's gonna
Sure.
but like I've gotten called out, like you said this, unless it's like a take, I really don't remember. I would say yes, I probably did, but I tread carefully in that, like, because like it all started one day because I had a good conversation with award-nominated Jesse Cofield about this.
Sure.
Because she and Emerson, me and him have talked about it.
Mm-hmm.
They treat their dogs like legit children, and let me tread lightly here. Like, I get people that do that. I just said at one point, they're so open-minded to it, or at least they were being kind to me in the 35-second conversation.
Yeah.
But like at the end of the day, is you can say goodbye to your dog, leave them somewhere, and not have to be concerned. You cannot leave a child of the same age.
Oh, it's
anywhere.
not like,
And
listen,
so-
there, and I'm going to attempt to tread lightly. I'm going to, because this is such a polarizing conversation. It truly is. Like, I mean, we could have all sorts of real world polarizing conversations. We won't, clearly.
No.
This is one of those unimportant polarizing conversations that you could have if we were so bold. And I don't think either of us is this bold because we know we'd alienate people.
Oh yeah.
But if you, what's the right way to put it? Until you have a child, and this is, you can't
Nothing.
fathom, you can't fathom
Nope.
understanding the difference between being a, quote unquote dog dad versus being a human dad.
Yeah, I got a cat right there,
Right.
as you mentioned, and I'll tell you right now, that cat, importance is dipped.
Like my dog is 11.
Love you, bud.
My dog is 11. There's a point in time, sadly, that her time on this earth is going to expire. I hope it is years away. I hope it's no time soon. But when it does happen, after a relatively short period of time, everyone's going to move on with their lives. I'm pretty sure, and God forbid any of us should find out, it's a little different with a human.
I will just say this: there are pet stores. There is not human stores. That's all.
Exactly.
Not in this country, at least. All right, moving on.
Not in this country. Carolyn says this is getting dark on a Saturday.
Yeah, it is. Hey, when your pet dies, as we get a death
10
of
to
a
3, Pitt.
hashtag stack them kickers in full play. All I'll say is this: no matter what, just spread love. That's what
Spread love. Amen.
You got a dog, you got a cat, you got a kid, you got a niece, you got an aunt, you got a dad, you got a brother, you got a sister, you got a Kaufman. Whatever you have in your life, give them as much love for the time that you can while they're here and while they're in your life. So, shout out.
Carolyn says, "What about goldfish?" No, they just go down the toilet.
Oh, I flush those things.
Yeah.
We're almost getting to the point in my my child's life, we'll just say, that it is like we're probably thinking about getting like one of those little small fish things because he just loves like pointing at things.
Yeah, just to look at them.
Yeah, and I'm like, and eventually that goldfish is going to be floating up top, and I'll just pluck it out of the bowl, toss it in the toilet, do a little flusheroo, and then go get another one. Unfortunately, that's a weird existence.
Carolyn says, "All right, light new topic. I thought we did that with the goldfish."
Hey, you know what else I wanted to bring up? Have you guys heard anything about? No, I can't even make a joke. I can't.
10 to 3, Pitt.
Let's talk
Final
politics.
minute and change of this opening half. Garoppolo, long and out of play.
Where do you go when you die, Cough?
That's everyone has a different opinion of that, don't they?
You know what? I think we all get flushed down the toilet. All right. All right. All jokes aside. But yeah,
I do wish. Maybe you can if you do it the right way, and obviously, we're not gonna. But I do wish, is it possible to have? We're not going to again. But is it possible to have a conversation, like an in-depth conversation about, do you believe in the afterlife, without traveling down the road of religion?
No.
I don't think it is either.
I can promise you two things about me. I will never go, unless it's an adult conversation outside of this, obviously. If me and you and Taryn and Daniel and Jared were all sitting around eating some pizza and I made you eat it, if we were doing that, and we were talking about it, maybe I'd bring stuff up or have that like lighthearted conversation that way.
Right.
Outside of that, I never talk religion and politics with people I don't like. I hate talking about it in general because there's no togetherness on any of the topics. I just don't buy. That's why you'll hear me talk about wrestling, sports takes. I rather hear Koff chat about is Evan Fournier coming back to the Celtics. Like those are the things.
These are the big picture things that we care about.
These are the things I'd rather talk about, right?
Here we go.
Kevin, bold theory. 10-3 Pitt.
This is what you get with the consolation game. You get consolation commentary.
Exactly. So Space Jam 2, right?
Oh, don't. I'll just since you brought it up.
Yeah.
Reviews, I'm not a huge fan of reading reviews.
They are not positive.
Yeah,
if you would like to.
But I'm assuming, again, most people reviewing that film are of 30-plus age group. And I'm guessing those that rate things on Rotten Tomatoes are, like, you know what I mean? I just think they're going to be of our generation more than they are going to be younger. So they're going to look at this and be like, that ain't it. Like, oh, LeBron James. It's like this. I think it's going to turn into more of the, again, LeBron versus Michael type of conversation that it's going to become of the movie.
Oh, for sure. I really am just curious. Like you brought it up earlier, watching with my kids. I just know I'm not going to like it. But that's okay. Like I don't think I'm the intended audience. So I'm really curious what it looks like through the eyes of a couple of, kids that are under 10. And if they love it, then like great. Like Warner Brothers, LeBron, like you've done your job.
Yeah. I think that's it. Entertain adults, get the kids to love it, and buy the toys.
Aaron says, Rossi Koff, when will the classic Sims be back? If by classic you mean, 3-game contests, those come back tomorrow.
Yes. Tomorrow at noon.
Early classic and late classic.
Full 6 Sims starting tomorrow.
Nice grab. Turns it into a score with 7 seconds to go in the half. 47-yard touchdown, Raheem Mostert. Off the milk carton and into your hearts.
Previous to that, the one catch for 2 yards and 10 yards rushing, that whole game is being turned around there with the catch and run. Give me all those and then some. Love it.
So we're about to be all tied up before the break. We'll check in on our lineups and that sort of thing as well. Yeah, I will say with regard to Space Jam 2, though, and some of the memes and things like that are coming out, there was one that I didn't retweet it or anything, but I will find it. I will send it to you guys. And the gist is, though, for apparently, I didn't know this because I haven't seen the movie, but apparently there's a rap scene, like Porky Pig is rapping in the movie. And so there's it's gone viral. It's got crazy traffic. There's somebody took the visual of that and put one of Eminem's raps from 8 Mile over it instead.
Awesome.
And it's so good. It's just so good. So I'm sending that to you guys for you to enjoy at your pleasure.
Looking forward to it already.
Yep, you should be. Damon says my captain Debo's hungry too. Right there with you, man.
Yeah, we're starving for some Debo. Jeff saying Captain Ebron killing me. Killing you.
I am 31st after number 31, Raheem Mostert, with that big touchdown. Pifu Fooligan is in first with Spaz 13 and Viper close behind.
Viper.
Interestingly, here, barring any, obviously manual scoring changes from our guy Jared here at the break, but our leading lineup has both DSTs. Not that either one has been great, but both DSTs are in the lineup right now. Steelers and Niners each with 4 points. It's Mostert in the captain spot getting the job done, though. He is only 10 rushing yards, but 2 for 49 in the air with that touchdown, putting him up over 20.
Yep. Yeah, I am dipping. Let's see where I'm in 63rd. Just plummeting with Debo with the captain right now. Everyone's got points, but yeah, Steelers DST giving up those points also hurts with just the 4 now. But hey, it is what it is.
Jared says, my birthday today, Koff. Rossi, can I get a shout out? Jared, happy birthday. That's awesome.
Jared, no, go deep, Jared. No.
He's go. He's gonna find you.
Jeez, did not mean for that to happen. It slipped right out of my hand.
Oh, now I'm eager to watch that on YouTube.
That was a big mistake. I'm sorry, Daniel. If that messed up my screen, I apologize.
Oh, I want to see that on the delay right there. 10-10 hit in San Fran. We've reached the half of the consolation game, getting ourselves ready for half number 2. All right, here he is. Rossi's telling him, go. Here comes the toss. Whoops.
Look at that. I have such a big arm. I'm sorry. I'm so strong.
You didn't quite throw the football right into the camera.
No, I threw it off
right into our faces.
Because usually when I do it, I'm always scared that's going to happen, and so I kind of aim that way. That would have been a Drew Lock. I teased this Drew Lock stat.
Yeah, that's right. We didn't even do it. Well, now's the time. Half number 2 coming.
So Drew Lock stinks, and that's kind of what he does.
That would have been a way better topic than.
Yeah, I know. We went
people.
I blame Tara Lynn.
Yeah. Samir's not here, so
we got to find somebody to blame. Also, no, I'm not going to take any more shots today. I've already taken my 1 shot. That's done. 1 per weekend. But yeah, Drew Lock. So it's a crazy number. So if you look at like Jerry Jeudy, guys like that, you're looking at high in your draft. Cortland Sutton didn't play last year, so he doesn't fall into this. But Jerry Jeudy had over 100, I think it was 103 targets. He had about 52 catches last year in his rookie campaign.
Yep.
Of those, so you think that's a nice target share, but only catching 50% of balls.
Yeah, it's a terrible catch rate.
But when you find this out, Koff, 27% of his targets were uncatchable balls. So that's a stat nobody looks at. So I'm not giving credit. You can Google it. I'm not sure if DraftKings will put it into their statistics, but
so suddenly he's, the catch rate jumps up to, 3. He was in like 2/3.
Yeah, he was in like
67% or so.
Exactly. He was at like 68% for catchable balls. Also, only targeted 3 times in the red zone. So the reason I even bring this up is Drew Lock stinks. He throws uncatchable balls more than any quarterback in the 2020 season. So with that being broken down, and again, I'm looking forward to talking to BK about this week. I think reading that stat and not knowing what the next month and a half will bring for him and his progress entering the 3rd season, I think Teddy Bridgewater is going to be the starting quarterback there. Because Teddy Bridgewater, on the other hand, had like a less than 10% uncatchable targets to his receivers. And they don't count targets as balls thrown away. Like completely meant to be thrown away. Like when Drew Lock was airmailing balls to guys like 15 yards in front of him. Like people want to talk about how bad Cam Newton was.
Right.
Drew Lock made Cam Newton look like Joe Montana.
Now, what was his completion rate, Drew Lock, overall?
I can pull that up. I don't know. Bad.
Yeah, obviously it wasn't good.
I can tell you.
How bad. Terrible in the Sims. We don't even keep track of it. It's just like with the eye test, that it's bad.
I always say to my wife, I'll give you guys a little background. When I have the sim and I see Denver on the schedule, I say I'll be done about an hour and 20 minutes. Where most sims should be about like an hour, hour 5, hour 6. Non-overtime,
Right.
I always know when it's a Drew Lock. I'm like, yeah, we'll see it. So his completion percentage was 57.3. That's bad.
Jerry Jeudy bringing him down.
Oh, don't you dare say that. These are numbers like guys like Sam Darnold. They're people that people consider to be very bad quarterbacks in the league just because of like they're not winning Super Bowls. Everyone's bad if you don't win. Like Sam Darnold looks like going back to Carolina. Like get on board. He can get the ball to his weapons, but nobody's better than Bridgewater. Bridgewater's completion percentage was great. His overall numbers, it's just I just looking at some of these numbers, I'm like, there's no way Drew Lock's a starting quarterback all year. Because they're in a win now mode anyways.
Could be Aaron Rodgers week 1 anyway.
Well, did you see that comment yesterday from Aaron Rodgers?
Yesterday's comment? No.
He was interviewed. He did some sort of press, and they asked him, like, will you be reporting to camp? He's like, I'm only going to be answering a few questions, but my answers haven't changed to that question. Did you ever answer it?
Yeah, not so much.
Yeah, what do you...
His future's a beautiful mystery. Raheem Mostert up to 36 on the ground. Minute and a half into this 3rd quarter. Producer Tara Lynn, Daniel, our technical director, Jared Knops, Rossi, Koff here with you for the consolation game.
Woo!
The Simper Bowl with the $15,000 prize pool coming your way. 8 o'clock Eastern tonight, the primetime game as it should be. Tom Carroll and I will be with you. That features Seattle and Houston. A couple of rushing mobile QBs who can also throw. Should be fun. TL wondering if I will wear a tux tonight. It's highly unlikely. See what kind of mood I'm feeling after Space Jam 2. Tim in the chat says, I guess this is just for the people. The people want to know. Says, do we have a favorite DK announcer? Because I got Rossi ranked up there.
Yeah, don't be foolish and put me at number 1. I'm cool to be up there, though. I appreciate that.
Adam says his 7-year-old is turning 8 tomorrow. So happy birthday to the young one.
All right, everybody, it's time for the birthday game. Whose birthday is this week? We should do that, like the unofficial birthday sim.
How do we never sing happy birthday to anybody?
You got to pay for that. You can go on
That's
my...
true. I guess I'm going to have to start a Cameo page.
Yep, we all do. That's it. Time to make like $400 a year.
Maybe we should just start a group DK commentator Cameo page.
That
way, you know, if you're looking for like freeze pops and not us, that's fine. Same account. If you're looking for, you know, Reed, you got to pay a little extra. He's very hard to find. Could be him. If it's Kenny, like the price drops a little bit, but he's still there. He's available.
Unless he has something better to do.
Yeah, let's get something else going on.
There's things in life that just grind my gears, and when people say things that they don't realize how ignorant they sound, it always gets me. And trust me, earlier in this sim, you can rewind, I said some ignorant things. So just know I'm just as guilty. I'm not pretending I'm any better than anybody.
We're 10-10 still. San Fran and Pitt. Steelers ball. Pick up Jalen Samuels.
I got a question, Koff.
Oh.
In this sim, Daniel, we did this yesterday. This is fascinating. Who do you think, and I think this is a better matchup than we had yesterday for this question. San Francisco and Pittsburgh, 2021 season.
Yeah.
Who finishes with a better record? You don't have to, we have to look through the schedule, just gut, or if you want to look, you can, but I'm just saying that.
My gut says Pitt only because it's not even that I think Pitt is a better team necessarily. I'm just going with Pitt because I think San Fran is in a much tougher division.
I think these are the hardest divisions in the league, both respectively. Last year, 3 playoff teams out of the AFC North: Pittsburgh, Baltimore, Cleveland. NFC West, this year, people are, there's not a bad team in the bunch by any stretch. Like,
no, I mean, I've talked to BK a bunch about this. You probably as well. I think 3 playoff teams are going to come out of that division. With the extra wild card spot now?
Yeah, I think it was Tom who predicted, or maybe it was Christian, all 4 are going to make it. And I would
just the only way that can happen is if that's all your wild card teams. You have your division winners, and then everyone else comes out of that division. And I'm not saying it's impossible. I just think it's very unlikely.
Well, the other teams have to really be bad. It's in bad football, and the whoever doesn't win. Let's say the way the scenario works is Aaron Rodgers is in Green Bay. The Bears stink. The Vikings stink. Like, everybody's like, I don't know, we'll just say like 7, 8, 9 wins, and they have tiebreakers over them, because clearly the division's going to shake itself out. So there's, 6 wins or losses right there. So it would be tough, but I still think it would be fascinating. For me, I have a hard time with this one because I just don't know how the Steelers can be good this year. Like, and aside from my thoughts on the coach and the quote unquote star receiver aside, I just look at this team. The offensive line's a wreck. Quarterback's old and wants to throw the ball way more than he actually physically can, as we saw at the end of last year.
Yeah, I mean, them starting, and maybe you're getting to this, but them starting 11-0 last year means nothing to me now. It meant nothing to me then. They were 11-0, and I was still saying paper champs.
Yep, Koff, it's happened 2 years in a row. 2 years ago, the Patriots were 8-0. And they did the same thing the Steelers did last year. They stunk in the second half, and they lost in the first round of the playoffs. Who will it be this year? I don't know. But it could be the Bucs. But I think, I look at it, I could at least see the way San Francisco could have a nice bounce back with health. I think Kyle Shanahan knows how to at least get his teams into winning positions. Situational can be a little questionable at times, but I think it's really hard. My gut says Pittsburgh again, just because, but I don't see them being good. Like, I see both of these teams as like 6-win, 7-win teams. Today, things can change.
I do wonder what kind of leash isn't the right word for it, because I just don't like, so in some situations you might look like Chicago. You could say, like, what kind of leash is Andy Dalton on before Justin Fields gets an opportunity? What kind of leash is Cam Newton on before Mac Jones gets an opportunity? Assuming these guys are the week 1 starters. I don't view San Fran that way. I don't think Jimmy Garoppolo's on a leash. I think he's there for a specific purpose. But I do wonder, whatever the word would be that we can decide upon or ignore altogether, how long he's got that gig before it is Trey Lance. Will Garoppolo, provided health, which is, the great if with him, obviously. But if he's healthy all year, will he be the guy all year? Or does underperforming elevate Lance into that spot? As San Fran picks up a first, 201 passing for the aforementioned Garoppolo into the hands of Dante Pettis.
Dante, whoever he is.
31.
He's a guy, I think he's on like the New York Giants or something. I could be absolutely making that up, but I'm pretty sure he's moved.
He's always cheap here in these Sims, tell you that right now.
Love that about him.
Dante Pettis is, you are correct, he's a New York Giant now.
I'm telling you, Koff, I've been
You're on fire.
I like the Giants, man. There's something there. They got a lot of good ball players there, and it all comes down to Daniel Jones. But right now, I'm almost getting ready to lock it in because we're getting closer of my turnaround team for 2021, which everybody is just waiting because you want to fade it because I said Detroit last year, and Detroit was legit.
So you're just following Kenny Golladay at this point?
Yeah, it seems that way, right? But everything I've seen, I'm just like, man, I think they're going to be better.
Look, they should be better. One, the entire division was putrid, so they should be better. If, in fact, Saquon Barkley is ready to start the season and healthy, going forward, then absolutely, I think they should be better, because that's a guy who's going to give you 1,500 all-purpose yards, if not more than that.
Yep.
I don't know what I think of Daniel Jones. I just still haven't decided what I think of Daniel Jones.
I'll just say, and I think he can make, not saying the same, he's not going to be an MVP candidate. I just see the way they're building that team. The running back is back. It could be very Josh Allen-esque with the jump. His completion percentage, I think, will be boosted by having guys like a Dante Pettis, like a John Ross, who I don't even think are going to be heavily involved, because you have a Tooney who they drafted first round, Kenny Golladay, guys you can, and they still have Evan Ingram. Get the ball out of his hands like that. Joe Judge comes from the Patriots. He saw the way Brady has had success. 1-2 out. 1-2 out. We don't need to get a first down, deep balls all day to get the ball out of this guy's hands, because he holds it. Just saying. Also can move.
No offense whatsoever in that third quarter, so we remain. Garoppolo 208 passing. He's got a touchdown. Big Ben, not big yards. 135 right now through 3. Rossi Koff along with you. Tara Lynn, Daniel, Jared, the rest of our crew. All of you in the Sim fam, obviously. Mostert picking up a little steam on the ground. 14 for 45. Touchdown for James Conner, who's 5 for 3. Jalen Samuels is 5 for 35. And then in the air, Kendrick Bourne, suddenly the leading receiver at 5 for 65. Touchdown for Mostert, 2 for 49. George Kittle, 4 for 38. And Juju Smith-Schuster, man, after a 61-yard bomb that he picked up way back in quarter number 1 on that first drive, he has done bunk since. Not a lot going on there for Juju. I am in 26th. Spaz 13 is now in front with Bourne at captain, Mostert, Garoppolo, Juju, Kittle, and Boswell, the kicker. What are you looking at? Where are you sitting?
Thank you for bringing it back up. I'm sitting in 86th. I've dropped consecutively quarter after quarter. I got nothing to say. Raheem Mostert's been great, and everybody else is not. What says you, Koff? Where you at?
I just told you, man. 26.
I do think I was listening. I apologize.
No,
I was reading the chat. I was watching the video back that Daniel posted. I'm an absolute jerk. I'm a consolation commentator.
How would that have gone in your once upon a time full-time radio gig when you're producing these high-profile shows for all these big-time egos? If they get on that talk back, that intercom to you. Jason, do we have that clip? Dale, do you think I was listening?
Koff, I'll tell you right now, once or twice a week it would happen.
Yeah.
I was talking to somebody or something. I was working on like a project. Or
if you said once or twice a show, I would have believed you. Which is that's no slight on you. That's just like the nature of that business.
Yeah. I try to be as tuned in. I've come to realize, listen, being like when there's two producers, my original job was like the secondary, like the guy who talked more as a producer.
Yeah.
That was like my goal. And that's what I was, afternoons. It was awesome. It was a hell of a year. Then everything went down the toilet and still hasn't really got its way out of there. But as long as people are happy and getting paid, that's all I care about. Don't care about all the other stuff. But yeah, once I became like the board guy, oof.
Then you became the board guy,
and then I can do it, and I would, as long as there's respect and everything like that, not just from the host, like I could do it again maybe in this life. Pay as the big part of that, but man, it's you got to be locked in. You have to be ready and willing and knowing every moment. You need to be 10 seconds ahead. It's like reading. For people who had issues reading when they were a child like me, you got to look ahead. You don't read the words as you see them. You read ahead. Weird analogy. Moving on.
Hit that like, folks. Let's get to 100 by the end of this sim. I mean, I know it's the consolation game and all, but
if we hit 100,
we're here on a Saturday. Smash that like button and hit the subscribe button as well. We appreciate you.
Yeah, if you guys hit 100, I'm gonna literally kiss my screen at the end because it would be a damn near miracle. Over here on Twitch, J-Man V says, Jones is terrible in my opinion. He's solid backup, but I don't think he's a starter material. Talking about Daniel Jones, pronouns. But his ball handling is terrible, and I feel he has no awareness. Now, J-Man V, I will say this. It's very strong. You should change Jones for Drew Lock, but I don't disagree, but new coaching system last year, you saw some progress. I just think another offseason, and they loaded themselves with weapons and guys that can get right off the ball. So I just feel like that's going to be a huge, improvement for that offense for him.
4th and inches, decided not to go for it. Easy 28-yard field goal. San Fran back in front. Robbie Gold, who's got him?
Not me. Not I. Stack that kickers in well into today. Today's the day, baby. Consolation game, stack them up. Also, just want to self-promote again after this sim. I'm going to be popping on for a Money in the Bank preview. For those that want to play the DraftKings free pool, I'll give you my picks for that. Starting about 3:15 on the Pop Culture Pile Driver YouTube page. You can follow me on socials. I'll post it again. I already have it posted to the link at Jason D. Rossi. If you guys want to join before tonight's also big Simper Bowl part 3 or 4. And then tomorrow night, you can get in that free pool. Again, love the free pools that DraftKings does.
Oh, it's great. Over in the DK Sportsbook, remember, you don't need to be in a state that you can use the DK Sportsbook in order to participate because it is a free-to-play pool. So do it anywhere, and by all means, get involved. And as Rossi said, the Simper Bowl part, I don't know, 3.5.
This is like Rambo.
Call it. Yeah.
It's like we don't know what the order is.
Something that will be coming up later tonight, 8 o'clock prime time. It is, once again, you will have $15,000 prize pool, Seattle, Houston, matching off. That will be in virtual Seattle, and should be a lot of fun. $15 to enter, $5K to first place. Danny says it'll be the 4th semi-biannual sim championship game.
I always love these arguments, like we talked about what things you argue or conversations go away. I always just say Rambo. Why is one Rambo? Then there's Rambo First Blood, and then there's Rambo 2. It's like, wait, what? Who did this?
Now, speaking of Weekend Warriors, by the way, you mentioned that earlier.
Yeah.
Where are you tomorrow? Why aren't you hanging out with us?
So tomorrow I had availability, and I said, hey, I'm in for earlies. Moose got there first. Moose crossed the finish line. So I said, all right, that's cool. I might still, you never know. I always know, like, if things change. I have tomorrow afternoon, to be honest. I'm going to be at the Boston radio people's hotspot, the Kowloon, as I have.
Are you?
Yeah, I have a family member two family aunts and uncles that are moving to Florida. So we're doing like one last hurrah up here at 4 o'clock. So
nice.
Yeah, so that should be some fun. It looks like an absolutely awful day in the area, but
Carolyn says I'm going there Thursday. Why? Like,
it's the best stuff.
It is. No. It is. I love it. Like, I love the food. But it's funny. I've had their food many times. Big fan. Have the sweatshirt. But I've only been physically there for a meal one time, just because it's for me where I am. It's not a convenient location.
Yeah.
But I wish I could get out there more. I mean, you see, maybe it's just who I follow on Twitter, but you just see pictures of like, check out my plate at Kowloon all the time. We actually had a DraftKings fantasy football draft. One of our drafts a couple years back, obviously it was when we were still in the office, and Kowloon catered it. It was delicious. And I was put in charge of the ordering and just given a card. It was like, get whatever you want. Here's the card. You can only imagine how much we had in the way of leftovers.
Oh, that's another thing. I've always said it, and I've said it to the ownership there that, if you've ever worked a day in the industry, you know them. Oh, baby. Big catch. But the Kowloon, most Chinese food restaurants, once all the food is settled, like because there's a lot of sauces involved, like I think it's better sometimes the next day. I don't mean that with any disrespect. I love a hot plate of food, but sometimes that next day when everything settles, it's great.
13-10. What are you going to do, Pitt?
See what happens. Sorry. Sometimes I can't. I have no poker face. Juju.
2-yard line.
So again, down at this point, this is James Conner territory. There could be a Kaka coming in here. Are we going to get Samuels out of the backfield?
First and goal. We'll find out.
I've already wasted I'm gonna bury somebody on Kenny, so I won't bury anybody else today.
Juju with the bonus. Thank you, Jared. And got there. Touchdown, Pittsburgh.
He freezes, and look at that. Look at that.
This right there. That's what the Heisman looks like. That's
Seriously.
what he's giving you Madden Heisman. I'm just gonna freeze. That's my celebration. Freeze frame. That is the new Madden 22 freeze frame celebration.
That we should turn that into a statue just for Madden only. The James Conner.
That's an NFT. That's a Madden NFT.
It really was. As Daniel says, that was an epic celebration. An NFT, we should. That's how you make money these days. Forget about all these other outlets. That's amazing. Andrew over on YouTube says, leftovers hot are great to eat. What, do you mean just like later in the day?
What does it mean, like reheated? Hot,
oh, yeah. Well, of course. Right? That's what I meant, Andrew. I don't want to get cold.
Some people, I mean, I'm not one of them. I think they're animals, but some people do, eat cold Chinese food. My wife will do that sometimes. And I do. Nope. Hard pass. But I'll reheat everything. I don't like to eat, unless it is supposed to be cold, i.e. like out of the freezer or, deli meat, cold cuts. Like I'm going to heat up just about everything.
Yeah, I'll be honest. We had this conversation because you had like a ton of Chinese food one day, and you're like, my wife eats it cold, I eat it hot. Here's my thing, because I'm a chunky little guy. I eat the cold while I place it on the plate for the hot. So take that for what it's worth for my heat up of Chinese food. But
Carolyn says air fryer. What?
Oh yes, no, dude. Air frying leftover Chinese food is the best way to eat.
Really? I mean, I don't know anything about air fryers other than all of a sudden everybody has one.
They're the best.
I thought that was just for, I don't know. I thought that was for like making wings and stuff like that. Like
anything.
You heat up leftover food in an air fryer?
So I don't have a toaster. So I do almost everything exclusively reheat, and I have a microwave, but microwave's kind of the devil's tool because how does it really work? It kind of freaks me out. The air fryer, on the other hand, yeah, it's pizza.
The devil's tool.
Think about it. You just pop something in some, like what's actually heating it up?
They're pretty large though, aren't they? Like, don't they take up a lot of counter space?
Different sizes and shapes. They all come, you just got to find yours. I have a monstrosity. I brought it out once in Simland. Me and Christian did one. Christian was calling me like rich because I had an air fryer once. I'm like,
well, I mean, listen, Christian called me rich when he saw that my Yeti water bottle had a magnetic top for the tap.
I have that too. I have that. The wealthy, yes. Yeah. Me and Coffin.
It was one of the more memorable quotes in all of like the 2,000 plus sims that we've had. Christian was just like, Cobb doesn't need to hold his cap like a poor person.
That's he really
a magnetic cap.
I've told him so many times about things. He's like, oh, wow, you got an air fryer. Like, must be nice to be on the 1% or something. I'm like, it's $100. It's $100. I told him I would give him money.
In the 1%.
Yeah.
Let's all, and obviously, like, it's not like he needs it, but I think just the spirit of the joke. Let's all raise money. Let's put together a DK Simfan Kickstarter account for Christian to get an air fryer.
Seriously, maybe I'll do a likes for dollars like I did with the charity. We'll do it for Christian. 100 likes. The Simfan will pool together to get Christian.
Like each commentator will donate like $5 or whatever it is, and we'll get Christian an air fryer.
That reminds me, in 2 months, we've talked about this, is Lamarca's birthday, and we have to get him, what is it, a guitar, a mandolin, something, violin, I think.
A saxophone? Like a new saxophone?
Sax? No, yeah, what am I talking about? Yeah, because he sold the sax. We got to get him another one.
Yeah. But aren't those, I mean, we were dancing around the topic, I guess pun intended, a little bit when we were chatting, and I mean, the one he had was like thousands of dollars. It was a really, really nice saxophone.
He had a very top-end sax.
Yeah, so I don't think we're going to be able to replicate that.
No.
We get him a recorder.
I know. I found one for $100. It was like a replica of a nice one. I just don't think if you have talent, you should ever release your talent because of finances. Unless you had like a piano that you can't fit. Like, that's the other thing I joked with Christian, because I thought he had a piano once by something he said. I go, wait, you have a piano and you're telling me you can't afford an air fryer?
I feel bad as we are, San Fran driving here. We're in the final minute of this fourth quarter, and we're looking to see if the Niners can take the consolation game. Incomplete toss right there. It wasn't even so much a pass. But, like, my parents are getting ready to move, and they've had a piano in their house for my whole life. And it's not, when I say piano, it's not like you would see out at a cocktail, lounge. It's like a smaller one that goes positions up against a wall. It's, the whole depth of the thing couldn't be more than 2 feet or something like that. So it's not one of those giant ones, obviously, that you will see performers use. But my mom has been asking me to take this piano because they don't want it anymore. And I don't really know why they ever had it in the first place, because nobody in our family plays the piano.
Is that not what you got for your bar mitzvah? I thought pianos are bar mitzvah gifts.
That would be a heck of a gift. No, I got cash.
Oh.
That was the in vogue bar mitzvah gift at the time. 1st and 10 from the 22. Jimmy completes it, first down.
This is going to be dramatic ending.
I don't know what I just keep saying. It's like, what am I supposed to do with a piano? Go take lessons?
Yeah, have your kids learn.
But maybe we just get it. Vital Ways, a church piano. Exactly. And maybe we send it to Lamarca.
Hey, Lamarca, I know you live in New York.
We can't afford the sax, but we got you this piano.
Just find room in your bedroom. Bye. Jimmy.
1st and 10 from the 10. Number 10 with the ball, right side, completes it. Mostert to the 4. Timeout.
All right, this is a very fast. This is where, like, this sim's going to go from, we'll get like 1 million likes if we get a dramatic touchdown, or like we're going to get a sack here in the ball game. It's going one way or the other. There's no incomplete passes in my mind.
We'll find out. 2nd and goal from the 4 coming with 18 ticks left on the clock.
Find Debo. Get me out of 91st place.
I'll take it. Garoppolo alone in the backfield. Quick release, all alone. Touchdown, San Fran.
Nobody.
Walking away into the luxury seats. It's Dante Pettis.
Pettis, what a game from him today. But I'll tell you right now, not a defender in this. Talk about social distancing. I think the Pittsburgh defense, wow, nobody close. They blitzed Watt on that outside instead of putting him into coverage. And boom, that's why he didn't win Defensive Player of the Year.
Right before that snap, Jeffrey had written in the chat, Pettis Tud would be great. You got it.
Get out of my head.
Congrats to those who have the Pettis and Garoppolo stack as well. Neither one obviously super popular today, but Miker 883 is now our new leader, comfortably at that, by about 9 points in the free roll, with Pettis captained, 1.6% captained. You are one of the only ones there, Miker. 21% owned overall, 22 points in that captain slot has Mostert, Garoppolo, low owned as well, Juju, Kittle, and Kendrick Bourne.
Nice roster. Now, usually in this game, I would have a lot of fear here for overtime. It's not out of the question because Pittsburgh does have 3 timeouts. So it could happen, kickoff. It could happen. See how San Francisco play. If they catch a 20-yard pass on the first play, it's going to happen. We'll see where this ball lands.
Final 15 seconds.
Give Jared a shout out here. He's killing it in ops. He's quick, very quick.
Oh, electric.
All right, so here we go. 12 seconds at the 29-yard line. They get this ball to the 50. Just lock in overtime. Tell Space Jam it's going to have to wait.
From the 29, Big Ben, what are you going to do?
Uh-oh.
A little dump off, but good enough to get there for a first. Out toward midfield in a timeout pit.
Not going to happen. All right, so we got a win or loss situation.
5 seconds. 3 for 44.
I'm going to line up here. I'm giving Dante Pettis the crusty cough. Holy crap, what a play. Even though James Conner, I know, but game-winning, dramatic, in a consolation game, that means absolutely nothing. You got to give it to a guy who gets the game winner.
Michael Rogers in the chat. Heard him in first. Go Pettis. 1st and 10.
You got a big lead.
Said could be the final play. Seconds tick down. Roethlisberger going Hail Mary deep into traffic. Could reach the end zone and incomplete.
All right, Babysitter Billy Award.
So close.
Yeah, I'm going to – obviously, we both feel Debo, but I don't know if that's a good call. Juju ended up bouncing back, had the bonus. Had a nice day, actually.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He got to about 20 in the flex. The babysitter, really, like you said,
might be Debo. He did have higher. I
think it's George Kittle.
What's Kittle's?
5 for 48. He is 19% captain, 67% overall. Right. Didn't even reach 10 in the flex.
Nope, you're good. You're good there. All right, George Kittle, Babysitter Billy, not my kid, not changing the diaper depending on the age of said kid and if they are potty trained or not. But there you go.
And there you go.
That's it. I will just give one last plug right after this pup goes off. I'm going to head over to the Pop Culture Pile Driver channel here on YouTube if you guys want to join, or if you want to know, like, listen, you got some geniuses here in the DraftKings, like Dream Stream. We got like the slate with guys that know what they're talking about certain sports. When it comes to the entertainment side, rock your boy over here. I'm going to give you how you can get in on that DraftKings free pool for Money in the Bank tomorrow night, WWE official partner with DraftKings. So I'm going to give you those picks and a preview of Money in the Bank. You can link on my Twitter at Jason D. Rossi, or literally just type in pop space culture space pile driver, one word, enter. There'll be a video going live at about 3:15 Eastern.
Well, obviously enjoy that this afternoon. We hope everybody's going to join us later on tonight. We have at 8 o'clock the latest incarnation of the Simper Bowl, top seed Seattle at home, taking on visiting Houston. So it'll be Russell Wilson, Deshaun Watson. Should be a fun one. Tom Carroll and I will be along for the call. We'll have a great crew, ops, production, everyone, all of you in the DK Sim fam. We hope you'll be with us. Twitch, YouTube, obviously wherever you find us, be there. Should be a good time. We'll find out in time whether it is a completely different stream given the gap between these two sims. But 8 o'clock, about 5 hours from now, a little less than that. And that should be a lot of fun. Looking forward to it. Championship game on the horizon. We will crown a new champ. And then tomorrow we'll get back to our regularly scheduled half dozen Madden simulations over the course of each and every most Dream Day. For Tara Lynn, our producer, who big plans this week, obviously. Daniel, our technical director, and Jared and Ops, just, we take him for granted at this point. So electric with the manual scoring, you would think it is live. Jason Rossi, check out his Pop Culture Pile Driver stuff going on here over the course of the afternoon. Get you ready for some wrestling talk. I'm Adam Kaufman. Talk to you a little bit later on. See you, Rossi.
See you, man.